Hey everyone! Welcome to the stream. This is Accounting Nightmare. And this song's awesome. It's the extreme. From the Savage Only final boss phase of Eden 12. Hey Kalishtar, how are ya? Good to see ya. Alright, it is the weekend still. So, I'll see how we go with queue times for the trial series today. Not sure how long it is, so we'll... hopefully we can do some of it. Probably not all of it, but some of it. Hey Tag. Hey Edmund. Welcome. No worries, Edmund. Hope you have a good sleep. Alright, the trial series. Oh. Yeah, we'll go White Mage for the actual trials and Dark Knight for the quests. So this was over in Giribania. Over here. Yes. You have the same macro for class swaps? Nice. Yeah, some amazing music in FF8. Right, so this trial series, we unlocked it in 5.2. Where the Empire seems to be creating some experimental weapons. Apparently they're trying to make another Ultima Weapon, and they're sending it to the front lines of the war. So the Alliance has asked for our help. And I think this is set before our friends came back from Shadowbringers, so it's probably just going to be us. Yeah. Oh, that's right, and Gaius as well. Ruby Doomsday. The Resistance and Alliance forces prepare in earnest as a new threat looms on the horizon. Ah, Melchan. Glad you could make it. As you may have heard, Commander Alden has given orders to embark from Alliance headquarters to hold back the advance of the Empire's latest menace. Not that the soldiers stationed there are too chuffed about being on the front line against these new weapons. If they're designed to slay primals, they'd make short work of us mere mortals as well. Mind you, it's Gaius Belsar and his followers who've led the charge so far. By all accounts, they've been giving as good as they get. Unfortunately, their sorties have met with little success. I dare say they'd benefit greatly from your presence on the battlefield. If you're ready, my colleague over at Porta Praetoria will show you the way. Weapon trials. Another Shadowbringers prepare to cry story. Oh no! Too many tears! Oh. He was told to wait for you at the foot of the long set of stairs. I imagine he's milling about the camp, trying not to step in any chocobo shite. Yeah, almost done with our loose ends. So we've got this, and then I want to clear up all the level 80 class quests that I've got unlocked. And then it's back to MSQ, all the way through to Endwalker. Which I'm really looking forward to. Oh. On your way to headquarters, I'll take it? Yes. Yeah, Endwalker sounds so good. Oh. Can't wait. The Milkman. Hello? What you looking at? Cool banners, aren't they? To be honest, we weren't sure if you'd ever show up. I, for one, am glad you've decided to throw in your lot with us. Gaius says you are our best hope of defeating that abomination. We have seen only a glimpse of its true power, and even that was more than enough for us. Yeah, no worries, Kalishtar. Yeah, I'm glad people are enjoying the VODs. I haven't caught up with the YouTube VODs yet. I need to edit and upload those. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Hopefully. So, your mind is set? Then I shall apprise you of the situation. We have discovered that the previously abandoned Ultima Weapon project is being helmed by the reformed 7th Legion. They have already succeeded in producing several prototypes, one of which is set to be deployed on the Eorzean front. Its name? The Ruby Weapon. Severa and I were able to get within striking distance during one of its test runs, and made an attempt to destroy it. An attempt that ended in failure, alas. Based on our knowledge of the original Ultima Weapon, the explosives we employed should have been insufficient to blast through its armor plating, but they barely left a mark. We suspect the gifts of its predecessor may have proven the source of its resilience. As you well know, the Ultima Weapon was designed to absorb ether from icons, and the Ruby Weapon no doubt shares that ability. If any were summoned during the uprisings in Garlemald's occupied territories, and thereafter consumed, our enemy would become all the more formidable. But its near impenetrable armour was only the beginning of our troubles. It fought back with whip-like claws that can be extended and contracted at will. In the face of such opposition, we were forced to withdraw. That sounds cool. You appreciate them? Ah, I'm glad, Kalishtar. Thank you. Gaius was injured shielding me from the Ruby Weapon's assault. Even now he struggles to stand. Damn it all. If I hadn't been so careless, this wouldn't have happened. You need not concern yourself. Let us not forget that I am the one who initiated the Ultima Weapon project. If I must give my life to bury this shameful legacy, then so be it. If you were to face it as you are now, you'd be cut down before you even hobbled within firing distance. In any case, we can't afford to lose the information in your head, on both the foe we face and the Empire itself. We all know that asking for Melchan's assistance presents our best chance at stopping that war machina. 'Tis true that if anyone were capable of putting down such a monstrosity, it would be her. Though I have no right to ask this of you, will you lend us your strength? Nod. I'm not one to back down from a fight. I do this for Eorzea! For Eorzea! You have my thanks. And mine, though I must impress upon you the urgency of our situation. We have received word that the Empire is preparing to advance on the Gimlet Dark. That is where we will intercept them. If our fears are proven correct, the Ruby Weapon will be among their host. Should it break through our lines, there is no telling the devastation it will wreak. Make no mistake, the very survival of Eorzea hangs in the balance. Once you have steeled yourself for the battle ahead, your escort will lead the way. What price must the world pay for my hubris? A short while earlier, in the Garlean-occupied city of Werlyt's Magitech installation. Ooh. Commencing Ruby Weapon activation sequence. All units, stand by. Ah! Scary teeth. Initiating synthetic aurosite system. Fusion successful. No signs of incompatibility. Awaiting your signal. Synthetic Aurosite? Ruby Weapon, codename Darnus. Ready for launch. That head looks very xenomorph. You're trapped by a cat. Cute. That sounds like a good situation to me. Given all we've come to expect from the Ascians, it wouldn't surprise me if they were behind the summoning of whatever primals the Ruby Weapon has absorbed. Though I will not be able to join the battle with the Ruby Weapon, I have been tasked with keeping an escape route back to the Eorzean front clear, should you need to make a hasty retreat. Not only are the Ruby Weapon's claws as quick as lightning, they move with an uncanny degree of flexibility, and can strike from where you least expect it. This sounds fun. Voldulan has briefed me on our mission. I am to take you as far as our expected point of contact with the Ruby Weapon. Once we arrive, the rest is up to you, I'm afraid. Cinder Drift. Straight into it. Cinder Drift. Though the original Ultima Weapon, piloted by Gaius Belsar, was destroyed in the decisive battle at the Praetorium, Garlemald has been secretly developing its successor. Now, this diabolical melding of Allegan and Garlean technologies has been deployed to annihilate those who would oppose the Empire. At the behest of none other than Gaius Belsar himself, you cross the scorched battlefield of the Gimlet Dark to halt this crimson menace before it lays waste to Eorzea. Cool. I'll just look up some strats, and then I will queue up. A great phase 2. Ooh, okay. Sticking around for that at least. Nice. Well, I don't know how quick the queue is going to be. It is a weekend, but the Aussie servers do have a much smaller population. Okay, Tank Buster. Patches of Earth spiral out. Okay. Stand on hardened ground. Stand on normal ground. Stacks. Don't stack the stacks. Oh, there's a checkpoint. Nice. Adds comets. Avoid the proximity, then hide behind them. Alright. Sounds like a fun little adventure. Alright, I am going to queue up. Unless, was there anyone here on the Oceanic servers who wanted to join me? Which is worth checking party finder before I queue up. Oh, there's quite a lot going today. No one doing this one, though. Here. You'll ruin the phase 2 twist. Ah. Yeah. Now this strat is, well, this Google Sheet thing I use is pretty good about not spoiling stuff. It uses as few words as it can, which is pretty good. Alright, Cinder Drift. Average wait time, 23 minutes. Well. What cheese strat are we going to employ? So are these, is this based on like secret bosses from FF7? Like super bosses? Or are they part of the story? Alright, while we're in queue, let's go do some other stuff. There is an extreme trial I can go unlock in the Crystarium. The extreme version of the 5.3 trial, so If anyone watching hasn't seen 5.3 yet, you might want to look away from the stream for a bit, or mute it and such. I'm about to go unlock the extreme version. Optional super bosses. Ah, cool. That is cool. Hey, the kids. Oh, it's you. I've been working really, really hard to become an apothecary. Why, just the other day I helped Chesimel stir a medicine. With a spoon. I'm still not allowed to make one myself. Chesimel says there's still a lot I need to learn. But one day I'll make you a potion like I promised. Just you watch. Oh, hello there. We're learning about what they grow here at Sweet Sieve. It's actually Rickettio's homework, but I decided to come along, because a warrior of light should know lots of things. We're training hard too, of course, doing the exercises Alizé taught us each and every day. Aww. Ah, warrior of darkness. I've been meaning to ask, do you know anything about the voice? You know, the one some people hear during the star shower. We heard it too, you see, when the stars started raining down again. A lady talking to us in our heads. We couldn't understand what she was saying, but she sounded kind. If we become warriors of light, will we find out who she is? I do hope so. Minstrelling Wanderer. Hi, Yoshi P. As a sinner of the world, you must surely have all manner of exciting experiences to share. I pray you regale me with your finest, that it may inspire me to write a song that shall echo in eternity. The Warrior of Light. The Warrior of Light incarnate, you say? Consider me intrigued. Pray tell me this tale. That such a fierce battle unfolded atop the tower, the culmination of a conflict spanning eons. And by your hand did you strike down this Elidibus, thereby putting an end to the Ascian menace. Had you not prevailed, we would not be enjoying the peace which we now have. We all owe you a tremendous debt. And yet, I cannot help but spare a thought for the defeated. Though history will paint them as villains, the Ascians were driven by a deep and abiding desire to which all men may relate. When one imagines the anguish and sorrow they must have felt, victory seems to lose its savour. So such thoughts trouble even she who dealt the felling blow. I am neither a philosopher nor a leader, just another minstrel. So pray allow me to speak of it in a language that is near and dear to a minstrel's heart. Love. When two men fall for the same woman, even should all things be equal, the feelings of one is destined to be unrequited. Thus is there never a shortage of the broken-hearted drowning their sorrows in taverns, and nary an evening goes by without me being called upon to sing mournful ballads of loves lost. I mean, poly-relationships are a thing. Yet in spite of the pain that love inflicts, man can stop seeking it out no more than he can choose to stop breathing. Nay, he will never cease to struggle to find love. No matter the weight of sorrow and regret he bears, the yearning and desire drives him on. For love is the greatest emotion of all. It is a veritable force of nature, transcending reason as it moves us to action, causing old wounds to tear open anew, again and again and again. Yet by the same token, it makes the love at which we finally arrive all the sweeter, and should we savour it, and let nothing diminish, and we should savour it, and let nothing diminish the joy it brings. Even should you taste bitter defeat, the sorrow you feel is testament to the strength of your passion, the flame that burns silently within you, perceivable only to you, and you alone. There is no need to extinguish that flame. Nay, let it burn until it is spent, and one day, the ashes it leaves behind will become something more than the remnants of your pain. I understand, I think. Come again? I understand, I think. Haha, such are the words of a minstrel, my friend. They must be somewhat open to interpretation, that the listener is allowed to find her own meaning. But I digress. We were speaking about the battle between the Warrior of Light and the Warrior of Darkness, and such a battle it was, an exemplary subject for song. I believe I shall place the focus of the piece upon the climax of the confrontation, the better to weave an enthralling epic. The epic of two heroes, one arrayed in light and one clad in darkness. Seed of Sacrifice Extreme! Another epic to torment your dreams and repair bills, yep. Added in the Western versions of the game than in the international version. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a few things they've done like that, isn't there? Because I know 10 added a whole bunch of stuff in like the European version, and then they made the international version so other people can also fight the super bosses. It's cool that they add so much cool content. Seed of Sacrifice Extreme! Though history will paint them as villains, the Ascians were driven by a deep and abiding desire to which all men may relate, but the minstrelling wanderer cannot help but spare a thought for Elidibus, whose demise spelled the end of his people's hopes and dreams. Likening your struggle to that of love, the man weaves a bittersweet tale of passion undying, a tale witnessed by the shimmering spires of the Crystal Tower, to be reflected and retold for generations to come. There you go, that was the extreme unlock. Oh, good timing. Yes. Except. There we go. Let's do it. Nowadays they just patch stuff. Yeah, it's better if you can just patch it into all versions. Send adrift. Ooh. God, looks horrifying. Mark III Anti-Icon War Machina. The Ruby Weapon. Enemy detected. Commencing attack. This music is amazing. Hi. Let's pop a honey croissant. First time. Hit dude till it falls over and dies. Excellent, I like this plan. This will go perfectly. Behold the Ruby Weapon. It will be the last thing you ever see. Ah, look at that! Preparing combat data. Subject Darnus. That's the tank buster. That Little text box thing. Optimized Ultima. Woo! Unleash Ultima! Deploying claws. Follow these people. They seem to know what they're doing. Anti-icon weaponry. Restraints removed. Oh, I see. Yep. Oh, this is where I'm supposed to stand on that. Okay. I tried to yank him. Guess I'll res him instead. Ruby Ray. That looks bad. I'm very happy with how fast that queue time was. Helicoclaw. Oh, spirals. Ooh. Woo. Yeah, the text boxes. Oh, split the stacks. Commencing high velocity assault. Help. Oh. Oh no! I realised what was going to happen. Such speed. But I'm still in control. Are you? Because I'm not. There's that person. Ruby Dynamics. Uh-oh. 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 No. Hope that tank doesn't die. Yeah, they are a tank. They can take a little AoE. It's good for the bones. Makes your bones nice and strong. No! Other healer. Okay. Wait. This other healer and me, we're carrying each other through. Synthetic aura sight safety locks removed. Preparing Ultima. Maximum power. Or not. This can't be! The ruby weapon is unstoppable! I'm sorry everyone, this is the end for me. Activating Oversoul. Commencing forced shutdown and system restart. Synthetic aura sight switching to Oversoul mode. Loading data sample. Darnus combat data ready. Initiating organic core overwrite. What is this? No, get out of my mind. Stop. No, I'm not Nail. I am... I have no idea what's happening. Okay, that was just phase 1. I am Nail Van Darnus. Come to purify this forsaken land. Okay, that was just phase 1. Oh god. The legacy of ancient Epilogue is mine to command. All my despair, all my rage, become my shield. I'm out of AoE range of these people. Dalamud is reborn? What? Excuse me, what? Are you allowed to do that? Oh god! 15 seconds. I'm scared. Mum, help me. It's fine, I just hit my heal buttons. How can this be, O mighty Dalamud? Am I not thy loyal servant? Red Moon of Destruction, I shall prove to thee my worth. Fall, fall! Death to the undeserving. Center? I hope. Ah! Purge these unthinking beasts. Right, those are yep, those are like from that raid series. Combat, oh god, there's a lot happening. This is so cool. Don't die, tank. Please. No, Dalamud did fall. I know it to be true. Oh, brother, Nail, your name shall live on for eternity. The frick just happened? Wow. Thank you. That was cool as heck. Well, that had stuff happened. Revenge of the unending cause of Bahamut. I haven't seen the full UCOB yet, the full fight. I should go watch it. Hi, what happened? Even from afar, your figure was unmistakable. As ever, an impressive display. Though, as I am sure you will concur, the Ultima Weapon pales in comparison to this new monstrosity. If their research is allowed to continue, the next model will be nigh on unstoppable. With that in mind, the Alliance has enlisted the help of... Wait, I hear something. Hi? Here to sift through what remains of the ruby weapon, are you? Ali, what do you think you're doing? Ali? Father! What? It has been too long, Alphonse. And you too, Rex. Given that the Empire is proceeding with the weapon project and making inroads into Eorzea, I suppose it was only a matter of time until our paths crossed. It's wonderful to see you again, Father, although I can't say I think much of the company you've been keeping. Rude. I know a lot's happened, but I'm just glad you're alright. And now, you can come back to Garlemald with us. Nah. My days serving the Empire are over. Because you're suspected of assassinating Emperor Varus? But we know you'd never do a thing like that. There must be a way to prove your innocence. Then everything can go back to the way it was. Oh. Flashback. So he found you two shivering on the roadside when he was going through Werlyt. Lucky for you, eh? If he hadn't, we'd probably be dead by now. As for us three, our parents all died in the epidemic. We'd still be begging on street corners if it weren't for him. I just wish there was a way we could repay Lord Gaius for all the kindness he's shown us. He fights for the Empire, so we should too. That'll make him proud of us. You're saying we should join the army? I don't think that's such a good idea. Everyone in Werlyt was scared of the Garleans. Why would we want to be like them? Lord Gaius is different. I know he is. You're right. He always says that the strong should lead the weak. Maybe that's why he took us in. Alright. If becoming a soldier is what it takes, I'll do it. Who's with me? Count me in. And maybe one day, people will look up to us like we do Lord Gaius. Then it's settled. From now on, we're all brothers and sisters fighting for the same cause. Brothers and sisters? Then that would make Lord Gaius our father. Well, if he doesn't mind us calling him that, I suppose. And that makes you our big brother, since you're the oldest. You'd better be nice to us, or I'm telling Father. Well. Yeah, echo flashbacks make me defenseless. Yeah. Well, thankfully I am okay. Father, since you went away, a lot has changed in the Empire. For us, too. If we'd known that you were still out there, still alive, none of this would have happened. What do you mean? The truth is... If you must go, I will not stop you. But answer this. Who was piloting the ruby weapon? We all know that Nael Vandanus has not returned from the dead. Who do you think? It was Melisandre. Well, no. No, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe you would let that happen. She was a sister to you. To all of you. We only want to finish what you started. And while we will never forget all you have done for us, the next time we meet, it shall be as enemies. Goodbye, Father. Well, sorry about whatever happened to her. As for you, hero of Eorzea, you'll pay for what you did to Melisandre. I swear it. I mean, I didn't turn her into... Oh, okay. Oh dear. Gaius wasn't exaggerating when he spoke of your prowess in battle. Unfortunately, it seems a fair few problems remain, and unlike the ruby weapon, it might take more than brute force to solve them. After Gaius and I faced the ruby weapon, I had thought it to be all but indestructible. I'm glad to be proven wrong on this occasion. Wait, but she was piloting it, so did she try and kill him? Melisandre? Sid! Recognise that music and those enormous boots anyway. Well, well. Gaius van Belsar, we meet again. Come to see how your precious weapon project has been proceeding in your absence, have you? You are come to collect data on the ruby weapon, correct? The pilot, Melisandre, should still be inside the cockpit. I will ask Vordulan to escort you to the wreckage. Any idea who this Melisandre is? An imperial crony of his, perhaps? She was sort of his adopted daughter. One of the orphans. Gaius always did have an eye for talent and a mind to nurture it. In fact, Livius Sus Junius was another protege of his. He even took me under his wing when my father became obsessed with the Meteor project. It's strange that I felt closer to Gaius than my own flesh and blood. Then, my father and countless others lost their lives in the Bosnia incident. Although he was acting under Emperor Solus's orders, he masterminded the whole thing. I begged him to reconsider, to put an end to this madness, but my words fell on deaf ears. That's when I turned to Gaius for support, but he was as much a pawn of the Emperor as my father, and refused to intervene. And when my turn came to serve, I defected and fled to Eorzea. I blame Gaius as much as any of them, perhaps even more, for the barbaric acts carried out in the name of conquest. But when we met again at the Praetorium, all the hatred that had been festering inside me seemed to fade away, and I remembered the man I once respected. To think the dreaded Black Wolf was a mere plaything of the Assyrians, who left him broken and disgraced, having sent thousands of his men to early graves. It's more than most could bear, and now the lives of the children he raised hang in the balance. Any personal grievances I have with Gaius can wait. I'd best gather what information I can on the ruby weapon, but I'll be back as soon as possible. Hey, Walken. Welcome. Odd craving for beef soft tacos. If the cockpit remained intact, we may be able to glean information from the pilot. If Sid is as I remember him, it will not take long for him to finish investigating the remains of the ruby weapon. He never was one to waste time. I love how many little things Sid gets involved in. It's great. He just shows up in most of these side stories. My engineers are still in the field, but there's something I thought you should know right away. It's about the pilot. I'm not sure how to tell you this, but if Melisandre is dead, I only hope she was not made to suffer. Death would have been a kindness. In all my years, I've never seen such a perversion of science and nature. Her body was fused with the ruby weapon's core. Those last moments must have been spent in pure agony, as her very life's essence was drained from her. Oh, I hope she didn't suffer. She suffered terribly. Yeah, no, waste no time staggering him with that dagger. So, she was sacrificed to power that infernal machine. We must act quickly if we are to prevent the Empire from committing further atrocities. Mel-chan, is there any other information you can share with us regarding the ruby weapon prior to its deactivation? It dropped Dalamud on us for some reason, somehow. It was cool though. Neo Vandanus. Did the Legatus mean that much to Melisandre? From what I gather, it sounds as if data based on Neo's combat capabilities was used to override the pilot's consciousness after she was fused with the core. If this technology is perfected and the Empire begins implanting the memories of renowned warriors such as the White Raven into its soldiers, the Alliance won't stand a chance. Is such a thing even possible? Well, I mean, we kind of just saw that. It's more or less how soul crystals work, yeah? A similar method of transference was used on the prototype Estinian Ford, was it not? Yeah, Estinian Ford, a weird thing. Your friend did mention he overheard the Signiferi loading various sets of data into the test model during the battle. It would appear that the system has been improved since then. While it may bear some similarities, we won't know for certain until we've analysed the wreckage of the ruby weapon. It cannot be denied that combining combat data from an experienced soldier with the powers of an icon has yielded remarkable results. But in doing so, the Empire has sunk to the very depths of depravity. This is beyond forgiveness. For once, I agree with you. Yet one question remains unanswered. How were they able to obtain data on someone who was supposedly killed prior to the calamity? That's what I'm trying to determine. There is one possibility I'd like to explore, but I'll need to carry out a more thorough investigation first. Severa will provide support while you're in the field. Not only is she extremely well versed in the latest in Garlean technology, there are few soldiers I would rather have watching my back. In the meantime, Voldulan and I will follow the ruby weapon's tracks back to its point of origin. We will learn what we can of the weapon project, and the manner in which Alphonse and the others are involved. Should we uncover anything of value, we will relay it to the troops stationed here. For now, I suggest you use this lull in Garlean activity to recuperate. Would I be correct in guessing that this belated reunion with those darling orphans of yours has stirred up memories of your time in Garlemald? Remember our agreement, Gaius. If you so much as think of returning to your Imperial masters, I will kill you. Well, off to a hell of a start. The Empire rot was there from the very start. Edgy salad? That's quite a name for him itself. War Machina Fanatic. Hi? Did you see the weapon? Oh, of course you did. How silly of me. What I wouldn't give for the secrets of that armor plating. Cube! It's a cube. I want one. I'm doing the Shadowbringers Trial series. It's very cool so far. So, you put down the ruby weapon? Gods, I wish I could have seen it. Not from too close, mind. I suppose I should report news of your victory to the higher-ups. I realise you must have been through quite the ordeal, but could you give me a quick summary of the battle? I can try. You make it sound so easy. From the way you tell it, anyone would think you slay hulking brutes like that for a living. I'll put all of this into a report, and leave a copy over there, should you fancy a bit of light reading. Anyway, I expect you've got more pressing matters to take care of, like going for a celebratory pint. If the Garleans pluck up the courage to come knocking again, we'll let you know. Until then, rest up. Meanwhile, in the Werlyt Magitek installation. We should have told him the truth. He'd be able to help us. I know he would. That's exactly the problem, Ali. If he knew the true nature of the weapon project, he'd find some way to interfere. We've come too far to back down now. I won't let Melisandre's death be in vain. Even if that means going against Father's wishes. Cheer up, Alphonse. We can all go back to being one big happy family after we've dealt with those pesky Eorzeans. It'll be just like old times. Yeah, well, you'll just deal with us pesky Eorzeans, no worries. Sunk cost fallacy, yeah. If only it were that simple. There's no guarantee any of us will make it back alive. Excuse me, I think you're forgetting whose turn it is next. O ye of little faith, with me at the helm of the sapphire weapon, it'll be over before you know it. Uh-oh. Whatever happens, Rex, promise you'll come back to us. I couldn't bear to lose you too. Yeah, he's definitely not going to get fused with the core and turn into some horrible nightmare thing. Oh god. The pile of papers appears to be a collection of reports written by members of the Resistance. Gaius Belsar. Hey Rise, welcome. Born to Rot, World is a Highland, Kill 'em All, First Astral Era. What song is that? I don't recognise those lyrics. Name, Gaius Belsar, pure-blooded Garlean and former legatus of the 14th Legion. During his time in the Empire, he was credited with the conquest of 5 cities. Extremely dangerous, though currently aligned against Garlemald. Assumed dead following the Battle of Castra Meridianum, he survived and made the elimination of Ascians his primary objective, operating under the name Shadowhunter. The Ultima Weapon project he once helmed has since been taken over by the 7th Legion, prompting him to cooperate with the Eorzean Alliance in preventing new weapons from being developed and deployed. He has provided invaluable information on the Ruby Weapon, though it has recently come to light that the pilot was an orphan once under his care. There is a possibility that he may betray us and return to the Empire, so he must be monitored closely. The Ruby Weapon. Name, the Ruby Weapon. War mecha developed by the 7th Imperial Legion as a successor to the Ultima Weapon. Our sources indicate that, like the original, it is able to absorb the aether of primals, which may be the cause of the vastly different appearance and combat capabilities. It possesses extremely dense armour and flexible claw-like weapons. Shortly after its deployment in the Gimlet Dark, a team led by the Warrior of Light intercepted it and rendered it inoperable. Garland Ironworks are currently investigating the wreckage. Melissandia. Name, Melissandia, pilot of the Ruby Weapon. All other information regarding the subject was gained via verbal testimony of Gaius Belsar, and must therefore be considered as potentially unreliable. Her parents were killed when her homeland in the imperial territory of Werlyt was struck by an epidemic. She was later taken into the care of Gaius, with several other orphans. She was despondent and introverted at first, but through the guidance of Alphonse, the eldest of the orphans, she grew to become more assertive and self-assured. Little is known of how she came to pilot the Ruby Weapon. According to Gaius, her emotional attachment to Alphonse may have been what compelled her to participate in this dangerous mission. The report delivered by Sid Garland following the preliminary examination of the Ruby Weapon's remains states that Melissandia's body was fused with its core, with no vital signs detected. Estimated age at time of death, 20 years old. 20, God, that's way too young. That's sad. Present.
I bring tidings. Do not despair. You are not without allies.
Hey Croker, thank you very much for the sub. 40 months. Thank you. I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Emmett Silk was called Edgy Salad for being an over-the-top genocidal villain by a big streamer. Until, you know, Amorite. FF14 retirement home. That's a good way to refer to it. It's amazing. Ah, these trials are so good. We're pretty far through FF14 content though. We're finishing the last few things before we finish the post-story of Shadowbringers. And then is Endwalker, the latest expansion. It's been a heck of a journey. That's probably the extreme unlock. No, we'll do that while I'm waiting in queue for the next trial. Sleep now in Sapphire. Information relating to the weapon project has been uncovered, and your allies prepare to depart for distant lands. Melchan, I'm afraid we haven't much in the way of information to share from the front line. We have, however, received word that Gaius wishes to speak with you at Alliance headquarters. I've arranged an escort to take you to headquarters, so when you're ready to depart, speak with the fellow over there. Would you join the FF14 retirement home yourself? Sounds good. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess at exactly what it is your presence is required for, but it's probably not the sort of thing that can be put off until later. Alright, I'll come back to talk to you to unlock that Extreme mode. Resistance fighter. Ready to head out. Yeah, let's go. Maybe I'll watch a YouTube video of what ends up happening in Shadowlands. I was curious about what they were setting up for. Good, you're here. The Ironworks have completed their analysis of the ruby weapon, and Sid Garland wishes to share his findings. I take it you can spare a few moments? I guess. Very good. Please wait here while I inform him of your arrival. Glad you could make it, Melchan. I'm sure you're as anxious as anyone to hear what we've uncovered. Our early hypothesis was proven correct. The Garleans have designed a system whereby a pilot's consciousness can be forcibly supplanted with data based on the memories and experience of another. So, even a rank amateur could obtain the combat capabilities of a seasoned warrior? Precisely. And we learned how this was made possible when we opened the cockpit. The monitors were still operational, and among the messages displayed, one particular phrase caught my attention. Synthetic aura sight system. This is so giant mecha story. I love it. Just like my Japanese anime. Which is what exactly? Well, the core of the Ultima Weapon was referred to as the Heart of Sabik by the Ascians. We believe it to have been a type of aura sight. I can't say much for the synthetic sort at this stage, but I've encountered real aura sight before. It was extremely potent, perhaps equal in power to the Heart of Sabik. It's unclear whether the Garlean simulacrum possesses the same properties as genuine aura sight, but I intend to follow this avenue of inquiry to see where it leads. What we do know is that it was used to implant the combat data of Nail Vandarnus into the pilot, who has been presumed dead since before the Calamity. Are you any closer to discovering how they were able to retrieve this data? The link didn't occur to Gaius at first, but he later told me of devices fitted to the Magitech armour of the Empire's high-ranking officers. There is reason to believe they were designed to emulate the soul crystals used throughout Eorzea. Yes, that was rumoured to be its true purpose, but it was never publicly acknowledged. Perhaps those in the upper echelons of command wanted to avoid comparisons to the so-called savages they were meant to be conquering. There is also the question of whether this system even functions as intended. From what we've seen, we can assume they were successful in gathering combat data of those wearing armour equipped with the device. If the comparison with soul crystals is valid, perhaps this data was transferred via ether. However, it seems that it extracted not only memories relating to combat, but the soldier's very essence. As you saw, the pilot succumbed entirely to the will of Vandarnus. Though this is merely supposition, it's possible that being fused with the ruby weapon's core accelerated the process, and caused the deceased Legatus to manifest in corporeal form. Could it be that the death of the pilot was caused by the system malfunctioning? It's hard to say. The ruby weapon itself was still largely intact when it deactivated, which strongly implies that it was the synthetic aura sight running amok that killed her, rather than the damage incurred during the battle. The goopy nail smile from the mid-battle cutscene, desktop background. Oh, that's awesome. But even after our analysis, I'm afraid we still don't have enough information. For now, perhaps we should consult with Gaius as to our next plan of action. Nod. I still need to get to the bottom of how the synthetic aura sight system works, and whether the pilot's fusion with the core was a malfunction, or planned from the start. Gaius will know how best to proceed. I have just returned from my reconnaissance, and I shall reveal my findings before taking a long overdue rest. Horrifying slasher smile, yes. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Uldulan has come bearing vital information. I traced the ruby weapon's path back to the occupied territory of Werlyt, which appears to be where it was built. Where exactly is Werlyt? My grasp of geography is surprisingly poor. Care to enlighten me? Where's Werlyt? Well, Alamigo is placed on the western edge of Gimlet. Werlyt lies on the opposite side, to the east. It was once a proud and prosperous city, until it was brought to its knees by the Imperial invaders. You seem rather well informed. Perhaps I should have taken you with me. I thought that much was common knowledge. It is also where Alphonse and the others were born. And now, the weapon project has brought them home. Yes, the place is now rife with Imperials. They have established an airship supply depot in the coastal town of Turncliffe. According to the locals, something resembling one of the weapons was transported there a few days ago. This bodes ill indeed. Were it possible, I would attempt to capture Alphonse and his followers before they can launch an offensive. However, the distance between here and Turncliffe presents a considerable obstacle, and in all likelihood, their weapon will be ready long before we arrive. Approaching by sea would allow us to save time by circumventing their ground-based troops, provided we were able to secure a vessel. Or you could use the Enterprise and take the most direct route of all, as the crow flies. In fact, this is a perfect chance to put my top secret plan into action. A top secret plan! And might I ask what that entails? It wouldn't be much of a secret if I told you, now would it? What I can say is there's a starring role planned for you, Mo-chan. Why so surprised? You didn't think I'd let you get off that easily, did you? It'll be here soon, so don't go anywhere. I love Sid. Glowing. He's glowing. Many Imperials who fought at Gimlet withdrew to Werlyt, though they will have had ample time to recuperate by now. Were we to approach by land, we could expect considerable resistance. I must admit, I'm not fond of surprises, or secrets for that matter. I see Sid still delights in keeping others in suspense. I can only hope he does not make us wait over long. Duty calls. Hang on, I probably shouldn't be a healer for this. It'll be more fun as something else. Let's go Dark Knight. Gundam. I haven't actually seen much of Gundam. I've only seen Gundam Wing. I saw that when I was a kid. I liked it though. What have you done, Sid? Oh my god. Did Sid make a mecha? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's awesome! Oh, it's awesome! Oh my god. Here it is, Mel-chan. I present Garlean Ironworks' adaptation of the Ultima Warrior, the G-Warrior. I love it. I know elegant design when I see it. Excavated from one of their ruins, no doubt. as is La to be precise. We came across it during the course of our investigations, and decided it would be a shame to let it go to waste. It's awesome! And you'll be taking this refitted relic to face the enemy head on, yes? Perhaps my knowledge of the Ultima Weapon will be of use. No, I want to pilot it. I don't want you to pilot it. I'm counting on it as it happens. But first, we'll need to perform a test run in the simulator before throwing you into battle. Come, we haven't much time. I want to pilot the robot. This is awesome. Oh my god! You will fight as the G-Warrior. Let's begin the G-Warrior training simulation. I've prepared 3 trials to show you the basics. First, I want you to try attacking the guidance system. Don't worry, it won't fight back. The G-Warrior is armed with a range of weaponry. Now's your chance to learn what it's capable of. I love this! Oh my god. How is this game still surprising me? Aether Cannon. A melee combo. Ultima Buster. Aether Mine. Heal. HP is drained while in use. That sounds scary. There's a lot of skills here. Well, we can shoot a cool little thing. Melee combo! Ultima Buster! Ah, that's so cool! Do it again! Yeah! A mine! Throw down a mine. And this gives me EP back. Mana, basically. So far, so good. Let's move on to something a bit more advanced, shall we? The G-Warrior also comes equipped with the Pyretic Booster, which diverts even more power to its weapons and increases its speed and maneuverability. This, however, comes at a price. Activating it places a huge strain on the G-Warrior, so it must only be used in short bursts. That's why it's best to practice here before heading into battle. Now, try activating the Pyretic Booster. You'll notice that your movement speed is much improved, but as shown on your monitor, the G-Warrior becomes more and more structurally unstable as time passes. To deactivate the booster, press the same button again. Auto-restoration can mitigate a certain amount of damage incurred, but don't rely on it to carry you through the battle. Now try using the Pyretic Booster to destroy the target. Hello, Orb. This time, the node will launch wide-reaching attacks in quick succession, but with your increased movement speed, you should have no trouble in evading them. Down a mine. Do the heal. Kamehameha! Ha! Excellent work, Mel-chan. You'd best deactivate the pyretic booster while I explain the final trial. We've covered offense. Now to look at defense. This is where the ethereal aegis should come in handy. Unfortunately, you can't keep the barrier up indefinitely, as it will drain the G-Warrior's power reserves. You might even run out of energy for the weapons, so watch out. First, let's try deploying the ethereal aegis. Ooh! The monitor shows how much power is being drained. Don't let it get too low. That's enough for now. Turn off the barrier using the same button used to deploy it. For the last trial, we'll use the ethereal aegis while attempting to destroy the target. Hello. Unlike before, there is no way to escape its attacks, so you'll need to weather them using the barrier. Get my regeneration going. Barrier! Owie. Hurt. Make it stop. Nice. You're a natural. Alright, that's everything. Time to end the simulation. This is cool. The pet hotbar. Cool. Oh, that was awesome. Robot. I suppose that in theory, any one of us could be the pilot, but I dare say your preternatural abilities give you a certain advantage. Screw you, you don't get to pilot the cool robot. Incredible! But how does it compare to the weapons? Are you sufficiently prepared? Yes, I'm ready! Then we shall depart for Turncliffe at once. Sure, let's go! It seems they were expecting us. But who was the pilot? Mel-chan, we're almost there. You'd better have your wits about you. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to be a whole giant robot arc. Oh, it's cool. Got my own Evangelion. Initiate combat mode. I have control. G-Warrior, do the thing. Initiate combat mode. Now, get ready to strike. It's time to fry this overgrown squid. Is it too late to back out? G-Warrior, engage! That sounds awfully familiar. It wasn't a reference to you, it's a reference to next gen. Mark IV Anti-Icon War Machina, the Sapphire Weapon. I can't afford to lose. It's all or nothing. Activating Oversoul! Hydra's combat sample ready. Initiating organic core overwrite. No! I can't. Hold on. I'll be monitoring the situation from the air. Follow my instructions and eliminate the target. I love this so much. And the G-Warrior. Well, well, it seems the savages have been busy. I shall enjoy breaking their new toy. It must have absorbed an aquatic icon. Be sure to use the Pyretic Booster in Ethereal Aegis. Get my heal going. My likeness reborn in cerulean flames. Oh. Oh, that's, is that regular? There is nowhere to run. Yeah, that's regular. That was his name. The guy from Warring Triad, from Heavenswood. Ready to turn that off for now. Is that Ultima? Use the Ethereal Aegis. Man, I just turned it off. It's submerged, but not for long. Watch for signs of movement. Why? Eep. Laser beam. Deploy the Aegis. Sure. Turret. Okay. Robots. Mine. Yee. Mine didn't do anything. Oh, right. How did I forget about the Kamehameha? Oh, right, that costs... Okay, the cannon does not cost any energy. That's why... Yeah, I should be using that for a bit. Okay. Ah! Okay. I did not see those other turrets. I just got wrecked. Duty failed. Look, the squid is very big, okay? Squid. Super mode. That's its name now. Super mode. Regular. Oh, wait. Okay. Trying to trick me. I just had to stay in the center. Optimize Ultima. Alright, where's your little friends? I'm waiting for them. Here they come. Little jerks. Okay, yeah, there's two groups. Okay. Uh-oh. Whoops. Hitting all the wrong buttons. I know how to pilot this thing. I didn't realise the melee combo is also a gap closer. That's cool. Whee! Wait, where you going? Oh. Yee. Owie. That hurt. Turn off that thing. Turrets! Oh, and you're diving. Waiting for you to do your... Not there. Oh, there we go. Pew! Ah, that feels so good. I love this. Alright, where are you, jerkhead? Uh-oh. Are they going sideways or... Can't tell. Oh. They were going exactly to me. Rude. I might keep that on for a little bit, just so I can heal. Yeah, that's better. Nyum. Optimized Ultima. Up my heel. Hey! But to hit you with my mine. Not very nice. Well. Your wild flailing shall avail you not. Destroy the cerulean. Oh, okay, they're cool tigers. Okay. Why do you get tigers? Yeah. That was awesome. How many weapons from 7 are we going to fight? We did ruby, this is sapphire. So there's also a diamond and an emerald? Cool. That was awesome. The target has been silenced. That damn squid never stood a chance. Understood. Well, I failed once, so I won't get too cocky. Understood. Now that the immediate threat has been dealt with, we should gather what information we can in Turncliffe. Sapphire is the one you don't get to fight in 7. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, that was a really good soloed thing. Oh wow. A whole special area. I must admit, I envy your talents. Would that I possessed even a fraction of your skill, that I could better serve Gaius. I cannot help feeling there was a simpler way to defeat the weapon. Perhaps shooting it in the head with a large cannon would have sufficed. That's not nearly as cool, though. This lift leads down to the storage area where the weapons were kept. Unfortunately, the Imperials didn't leave an awful lot behind for us to investigate, but they did give us a place to carry out maintenance on the G-Warrior. In fact, I can take you down there for a closer look, if you're interested. We'll turn in this quest first, and then I will. Yeah, I love the G-Warrior. Oh, they shot the sapphire weapon in the head with a giant Mako cannon. That's cool. I've been separated from my family ever since I was forced into the army, but I was able to sneak away in the confusion. I've got you and your friends to thank for that. My main concern is that Legatus Valens won't take this lying down. That man is like a dog with a bone. Once he sinks his teeth in, he never lets go. He'll be back. I'm sure of it. Explore this cool little area. Yeah, hence why you don't fight it in 7. Yeah, because they shot it in the head with a giant cannon. What do you want with me, lass? Me? Not much to tell. Even less worth knowing. These days, I go about my daily business, trying not to bother anyone. Just another sad old man, all alone and dying of... Well, I doubt you'd care, even if I told you. Used to call myself a doctor. Not that I was much good at it. When the epidemic came 10 years ago, I was powerless to stop it, despite all my years of experience and fancy medicines. For every one I saved, I lost a dozen more. Worse than that, I let those Garlean bastards push me around. tell me who to treat and who to leave to their fate. As a result, I only saw to the Imperials, while my kith and kin died in agony. What can you tell me about Turncliffe? Being far to the south of Werlyt, perched atop the cliffs, there was never much reason for anyone to travel here. Being by the city is all well and good, but we're simply too high above the water to benefit much from it. The gulls and terns don't seem to mind, though. Most of the townsfolk are either Huron natives or Alra, who found their way here over the years. They all lived side by side, peacefully enough, before the Garleans came and ruined everything. There wasn't much we could do to stop them. Those who fought back were soon put to the sword. Once the invasion was complete, the Imperials started digging down into the rock and built a supply depot for their blasted airships. But the experiments were a more recent development. Of course, none of us civilians were privy to what it was they were working on. I expect that'll all come to light now that the bastards have all turned and fled with their tails between their legs. We've got you and yours to thank for that, even if it is only a temporary respite. Those Garlean bastards are finally gone, and it's all thanks to you. My husband died defending our town when they first invaded, and for all the years since, it felt like he'd died for nothing. Now, his soul might at last find peace. Get to fight Ruby and Emerald as super bosses. If you go in not knowing what you're doing, you will die. Oof. That's terrifying. Most of the 7th Legion troops stationed here withdrew before you arrived. I expect they're regrouping somewhere and getting ready to retake the town. I even heard one of the members of the Weapon Project is still hiding somewhere in the town. Triple triad. A lot of us local conscripts have deserted the 7th Legion, but the rest of Turncliffe isn't going to forget that we served the Empire. At least not anytime soon. And he's probably got the weapon cards. With the Empire gone, I've got no way of making a living. My only hope is to win that upcoming Triple Triad tournament and live off the winnings. I suppose you'd help me out with a few practice rounds. And later. Oh, only one card. Nice music. You did well to pilot the G-Warrior so adeptly in so short a time. And with the weapon largely intact, Sid and his researchers should be able to gather a wealth of valuable information. Before it is dismantled, perhaps we should take one last look upon our fallen foe. We should have known Father and his friends would track us down sooner or later. Now they're at our doorstep, and the sapphire weapon still isn't ready. Even so, it should still be able to fend them off, or at least buy us some time. Not quite how I'd imagined it. But this seems as good a way to die as any. Rex, Recon? Why are you still here? You're supposed to be moving the other weapons to a safe location. You can take care of that, while I pilot the Sapphire weapon. What are you talking about? I'm the pilot, not you. There's no need to put your life on the line. Besides, it's still incomplete. It can barely perform basic maneuvers, so it'll be practically useless in a real fight. We have a solution. Oversoul. You want to end up like Melisandre? No, of course not. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But she didn't give her life in vain. The ruby weapon left behind data that's been used to improve the system, to prevent any further malfunctions. What difference does that make? Once Oversoul is activated and the pilot fuses with the core, there's no way back. That's why I should be the one to pilot the Sapphire weapon, not you, Rex. Alphonse needs you. You and I both know I'm the least qualified pilot we have. There's less to lose if I don't make it back. No, I won't let you! Please, Rex, hear me out. Ever since we were children, I was the smallest, the weakest, too afraid to stand up for myself. But I had the best brothers and sisters a boy could wish for. You were always there for me, protected me. Now, it's my turn to protect you. Take the other weapons and get out of here. See this through to the end. Do it for me. For Melisandre. I'm counting on you, Rex. You always did have a stubborn streak. Alright, Recon. I won't let you down. Just promise you'll wait for me. On the other side. We'll meet again, brother. You all made me happier than I had any right to be. And now, I've finally found my purpose. I have no regrets. Come on, Sapphire. We may be far from perfect, but we have a job to do. Let's give Father something to remember us by. The Echo, I presume. What did it reveal to you? Recon. My poor boy. You were braver than most could ever hope to be. It's as we feared. I'm sorry, Gaius. First Melisandre, now Recon. We must find the remaining weapons and end this madness. Hello, Cleo. This is a very emotional scene. Do you mind scratching the post later? No? Okay. No, come back. The scene's over. Cleo! Come here. Tell me, what do you make of Gaius Balsar? I understand the two of you have been acquainted since his days as a Black Wolf. He claims to have shed his pelt when he took up the hunt for Ascians, but he's still the same man deep down. He certainly kept quiet about having a flock of foster children back in the Empire, though. It seems he would rather bare his teeth to his former masters than allow harm to come to them. Yet try as I might, I cannot make sense of it. Does he truly fight for the good of mankind, as he would have us all believe? Or is he merely biding his time, before he reveals his true colours? Whatever the answer may be, in the end he will always be a Garlean. And though there may be honourable men and women among them, I have suffered much and more as a result of their conquests. Barbaric campaigns, in which Gaius Balsar played no small part. My first encounter with the Garleans was 20 years ago, shortly after the fall of Alamigo. They continued their march into the lands that had long been home to we Duskwights. We sought to repel the invaders, but we were woefully unprepared. Our bows and arrows were no match for their magitech, and even our most powerful magics did little to slow their advance. I fought on the front line, but was knocked unconscious in the opening exchange. When I came to, I was alone, the rest of my unit slaughtered. I hurried back to my village to look for my wife and daughter, only to find the place deserted. My search lasted for days, then weeks, then months, and it seemed they had disappeared without a trace. I finally learned from 2 Imperials held at Bittermill that the villagers had been captured and used as test subjects for the poison gas that would later be known as Black Rose. They were never seen again. For 20 long years I roamed aimlessly, with nothing but hatred to keep me alive. I eventually found myself at the order of the Twin Adder, who offered me a place among their ranks. The desire for revenge was the only thing I had left, so without a moment's hesitation, I accepted. Were it not for the war with Garlemald, I would have been loath to work alongside the city-dwelling Gridanians, who for so long had treated my kind as outcasts. But none of that mattered anymore. It all culminated with Operation Archon. As you led the charge into the Praetorium, we were right behind you. And when the place came crumbling down, most of us were caught in the rubble. I escaped with my life, though many others were less fortunate. Having dragged myself free from the rubble, I sought a way out. It was then that I encountered none other than Gaius Balsar, on the verge of death. The gods had delivered to me the man whose conquests had robbed me of everything. I was poised, ready to exact my revenge. And then he spoke. I will not beg for mercy. I only ask that you stay your hand a while longer. I cannot die until I have rid the world of the Ascian menace. For millennia, mankind has danced to their tune, but no more. Then, once we are finally free, my life is yours for the taking. I would have struck him down there and then had I not sensed truth in his words. So, I decided to grant him a stay of execution and join him on his hunt. All this time, I've kept a close eye on Gaius. Though he is ever on the watch for pursuers, he has granted me ample opportunity to slay him if I so choose. And I still might, if he shows even the slightest sign of betraying our agreement. But for now, the Ascians are my chosen quarry. If they are indeed the ones pulling the Empire's strings, then it shall not end until they have been eradicated. Every last one. Though I could not save my kin, there are those who may yet be spared the horrors of war. Unfortunately, dealing with the Ascians will have to wait until we have brought an end to Garlemald's weapon project. Though we may have vanquished 2 of the new weapons, we must make every effort to prepare for whatever the Garleans throw at us next. Perhaps Severa can tell us whether the Ironworks engineers have uncovered any information of note. Yeah, the Excalibur 2 thing in FF9. That's something I think I would feel totally okay just cheating in. Because to get it, you have to skip so much other stuff, right? It seems like a very strange thing to put in the game. Main reason you dislike this line is trying to rehabilitate Gaius by making him sympathetic. Yeah. Well, let's go take a look at the robot. Robot. G-Warrior. Go to our mech hangar. Ask about the G-Warrior. When we first discovered it in Az's Lair, it was in a far worse state than it is now. Different colour too. As for its intended purpose, we believe it was developed to combat primals or similar threats. All of the parts deemed unnecessary have been removed, and we've made several adjustments to improve stability and overall safety. As a result, however, we had to limit its capabilities to some degree. We can't afford to repeat the mistakes made by the Garleans with the Ultima Weapon, who we believe employed knowledge obtained from the Ascians. After all, we know how that ended. You might also be relieved to hear that Master Garlean has introduced a pilot recognition system, so that only those given prior permission by the Ironworks can operate it. Think of it as a precaution, should the enemy get any ideas about stealing it from us. Hey, Mia? Kind of speed running it. Yeah, I think that's how I feel too. Yeah, I'm okay with trying to rehabilitate him, but yeah, it is kind of fast. Inspect its head. The 2 sensors on the front of the head work in much the same way as the eyes of living creatures, sending visual information to the pilot. This horn-like protrusion was one of several additions we made ourselves. It's for picking up link pearl signals, not for ramming the enemy. Still, if push comes to shove, I dare say it could be used to make a last-ditch attack. Arms. Compared to the original design, the outward appearance is largely the same, but we've carried out a number of improvements. The manipulators, or hands you might call them, were originally created to claw at the enemy. We've modified them to allow the use of various weapons, such as the ethereal saber. Boosters. Ah, I'm glad you noticed. The boosters were built entirely by the Ironworks, to allow for low-altitude flight and increased manoeuvrability. They're currently unsuited to being used over long distances, hence the need to have the G-Warrior transported by airship. This is another area we're hoping to improve in future iterations. Climb onto its shoulder. That's so good. Yes. Yeah, this was a boss from Fractal Hard. A boss called the Ultima Warrior. But this is a lot bigger than that boss was, though. Stand by the G, warrior. That's so cool. Yeah. Not yet. Sure, okay. Guess I'll leave the giant robot. Ah, it's so cool. You cheated. Yeah, it is a strange thing to put in an RPG like that. Ah, this is cool. Oh, nearly time to feed Cleo. The Ironworks engineers are still at work dismantling the Sapphire Weapon and investigating the Turncliffe Magitech facility. Though they have yet to make their report, they may have some news to share at this juncture. Please, wait here a moment. We have yet to finish our investigation, but I can give you a preliminary report. Were you able to recover anything of note? Before abandoning the facility, they'd attempted to destroy anything they couldn't take with them, including many of their research materials. Luckily, some information relating to the Sapphire Weapon's combat data was intact. Judging by what we saw during the battle, it was extracted from regular Van Hydrus, correct? It also appears that the Sapphire Weapon was actually in an incomplete state, and therefore unable to perform at full capacity. Even so, it was immensely powerful. Had they been given the chance to finish it before we'd arrived, who knows how it would have ended. Indeed. We may not be so fortunate next time, so we must prepare for the worst. The Ironworks will continue to investigate the Sapphire Weapon, and look into possible countermeasures. The Echo afforded you a glimpse into the conversation between Recon and Rex prior to the weapon's deployment. Do you remember any other details? Improvements were made to the synthetic aurosite system to prevent malfunctions? Then it was never their intent to create a manifestation of Nail Vandalis. But there's one thing that was intended. Oversoul. Its activation results in the pilot being absorbed by the core, killing them in the process. Rex and Recon were fully aware of this, were they not? Then the death of the pilot was by design all along. Alphonse, how could you? Sacrificing your own siblings to fuel these accursed war machines. Surely there is no cause worth paying such a price. Aye, nothing is more precious than family. This nightmare is far from over. It appears that Rex has fled with the remaining weapons, and we can assume that Alphonse has every intention of sending them into battle. We must find a way to disable them before Oversoul can be activated. I have seen enough death. I do not wish to see any more. Then there is no time to waste. Let's be about it, Gaius. Severa, you're in charge here. Keep Sid and his team safe while they carry out the investigation. Understood. Please see that no harm comes to Gaius. While we're gone, I need you to relay everything to the Resistance troops. Your first-hand account should prove useful. If there are any developments, we'll be sure to contact you. The mecha anime King Gyna. Okay, I haven't seen King Gyna. Alphonse, I will find you, wherever you are. If the other weapons have been moved elsewhere, the locals must have seen the direction in which they've headed. At this stage, any information at all will be better than what we have now, which is next to nothing. Why did I teach my children to want to die for their empire? Alright, I think I should take a little break here, feed Cleo. And we'll come back and continue this. And I'll let you listen to this music. Set off the cat alarm. I'm summoning the cat. Doing a summoning ritual. Cleo! Oh, here she comes. Hello. Made a little noise, but you probably couldn't hear it. Hello, sweetie. Come here. Aw. Cute little kitty. Yes, pets. What? Bye. She's done with pets. She wants food now. Alright, gonna go feed her. Right, I'm gonna go AFK for about 10 minutes. Idling camera. There we go. Alright, I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Hello, I'm back. Hello. I'm back. Okay. Not sure how much longer I'm going to stream for, because I have a raid tonight. Doing some Alexander stuff with some friends. But hopefully we can do at least another trial. Thank you, Tag. Thank you, Croker. Alright, we'll go hand in this quest over here. I'm enjoying this quest line. Ooh, someone bought that Yeti stuff. Cool. Got updated reports yet? Not yet. Not till we turn this in. Just gonna drink some more water. Okay. Welcome back. It sounds like you've been on quite the journey. All the way to Turncliffe. And judging by the fact you made it here in one piece, I trust everything went according to plan? What an astonishing account. I wouldn't mind putting that G-Warrior through its paces myself. Certainly a lot more stimulating than supervising this rabble, I'd imagine. Anyway, as before, I'll compile the information into a report and leave it over there for your perusal, should you feel so inclined. If we hear anything from headquarters, we'll be sure to pass it on. Ooh, sapphire weapon bust. Cool. It glows ominously. I'll put that in my apartment once I have one. In 6.1. Cutscene! Meanwhile, in the 7th Legion's Werlyt headquarters. Okay, they're in another part of Werlyt. Why are there kids? I don't like that. I've come to deliver my report, Lord Valens. Ah, so you have returned, young Alfred. Or was it Orwick? Not that it really matters, of course. I hear that you and your darling brothers and sisters have allowed the sapphire weapon to fall into the hands of the enemy. Do tell me it isn't so? I'm afraid that is the case, Lord Valens. Oh, come now. No need to be so sullen. As they say, to err is human, to forgive divine. And you know how forgiving I can be. When it suits me. So tell me, whatever your name is, who was able to best the sapphire weapon? Our sources state that the one known as the Warrior of Light was assisted by Cid Garland and Gaius van Belsar, my lord. Gaius. Yes, it seems he's been quite the troublemaker of late, defecting from Garlemald, assassinating the Emperor. Whatever next? Oh well, there's no use crying over spilt milk. Speaking of which, I've become quite the connoisseur since arriving in Werlyt. This particular variety comes from a rare breed of cow, you know. Only 100 of them in existence, and pampered every day of their lives. Yes, they are quite valuable. Until their milk dries up, that is. When it does, they are sent to the slaughterhouse like all the rest. But that is their lot in life. To be discarded once they have served their purpose. Did I create the ruby and sapphire weapons so that you could deliver them gift-wrapped to the enemy? I can see it now. Sidnun Garland rubbing his hands with glee at all the technological marvels we've bestowed upon him. And you let Gaius van Belsar, of all people, get the better of you. How do you think this reflects on me, the legatus of the 7th Legion, humiliated by that traitor? Humiliated, I say. There's only one way to deal with worthless provincial filth like you. Wait for me in the correction chamber. You need to be taught a lesson in obedience. Yes, my lord. Forgive my intrusion, Lord Valens, but it's time for your meeting with the head of Magitech deployment. Oh, how time flies when you're whipping useless soldiers into shape. Yes, yes, I'll be along once I've made myself presentable. Can't have people thinking I've let my standards slip, now can I? What are you doing here? You wish to see me, Lord Valens? Did I now? Ah, yes, that's right. So, you're Allie, yes? And you joined the military of your own free will, along with your fellow orphans? Such devotion! What an inspiration you are! You see, it is my firm belief that love grants us the power to move mountains, to overcome any obstacle. Together, we shall discover the strength that lies within you. Take my hand, child. I will show you the way. Nah. Those kids are his servants, I think. I think they helped him get into his armor. The Sapphire Weapon. Name, the Sapphire Weapon. War Machina, developed by the 7th Imperial Legion as a successor to the Ultima Weapon. The second known case of the synthetic aurosite system being used in open combat, employing the combat data of Regular Van Hydrus, former legatus of the 6th Imperial Legion. Evidence indicates that the War Machina was in an incomplete state, and Oversoul was used to mitigate mechanical deficiencies. It was deployed off the coast of Werlyt and sent into battle with Garlean Ironworks' G-Warrior, piloted by Melchan Angora. It was then rendered inoperable but structurally intact, with only superficial damage sustained. So we have that now. Okay, cool. Recon. Name, Recon. Pilot of the Sapphire Weapon. All other information regarding the subject was gained via verbal testimony of Gaius Belsar. Born and raised in Werlyt until his parents died in an epidemic, after which he was taken into the care of Gaius in an imperial orphanage. Though he lacked the physical prowess of his peers, his high degree of dexterity made him ideally suited to maintaining equipment and similar tasks. Even after joining the military, he remained shy and withdrawn. However, on occasions where the safety of his friends was threatened, he would not hesitate to defend them. He later replaced the designated pilot of the Sapphire Weapon, fellow orphan Rex, and was absorbed by the weapon's core upon activating Oversoul. Estimated age at time of death, 17 years old. Oh god. So young. It gets worse. Oh no. 17. Blood of Emerald. Oh god. Sid's investigation in Turncliffe has led to startling revelations. Ah, it's good to see you, Melchan. I'm pleased to report that Master Garland and the others uncovered a fair bit of useful information at the Imperial facility in Turncliffe. In fact, he'd like you to rendezvous with Gaius in the town square, where he'll reveal what they've found. Once you're ready to depart, your escort will lead the way. No worries, Callister. Thank you. Have a good night. I wouldn't mind going with you to Turncliffe, but I've got to stay here and keep an eye on this horrible lot. I have to say, that was a most exhilarating battle. I never dreamed that I would have the chance to see such a ferocious war machina with my own eyes. You might find it odd that a citizen of Eorzea would be so excited by something sent by the Garleans to slaughter us in our thousands. But as an avid follower of all things gigantic and mechanical, I just can't help myself. Oh, to be able to pilot such a majestic creation. Perhaps I should defect to the Empire and offer my services. What? Ever since the time of the original Ultima Weapon, I have fallen in love with this fusion of Allagan and Garlean design. It takes my breath away. So much so that I use my spare moments at the ironworks to develop a line of miniatures. And now, your recently vanquished foe shall be the inspiration for my next endeavour. Would you do me the honour of casting your gaze across the piece once it is complete? If that's what it takes to shut you up. Don't blame me if I smash it to smithereens. Did you say something? Whatever it was, I'm sure you were offering heartfelt words of encouragement. It's the support of fans such as yourself that make this a worthwhile hobby. I'm proud to say my work adorns the homes of many like-minded machina lovers. The Ultima Weapon and Magitech Reaper miniatures, to name but two of my creations, are especially popular. Of course, I wouldn't be much of an engineer if I only made inanimate ornaments. Behold, I have restored this Allagan relic, added a few flourishes of my own, and dubbed it the Real Virtuality Combat Simulation Experientiator. By feeding it various pieces of data, such as images of my replicas and so on, it is able to recreate a range of combat scenarios. For research purposes, of course. Not entertainment, oh no. I can see you're practically champing at the bit to give it a try. There's no stopping you intrepid adventurer types. It won't be long until my latest work is complete. All that remains are one or two final adjustments. So don't go anywhere. That sounds like a threat. I'll be back to talk with you. I'm going to continue the storyline. Okay. See you in the VODs, no worries. Hope you enjoy the VOD. All set for the journey ahead? Yeah. Ding! Someone bought my bangle. Yo. It seems that Sid is not in the habit of saying the same thing twice, which must be why he has been waiting for you to arrive before revealing the results of his investigation. Though the Imperials may be gone, the scars they have left on this once peaceful town will doubtless take many years to heal. Now that you are here, perhaps Sid will finally deign to dispense his findings. Severa, inform him of Melchan's arrival. Sid. Thanks for coming. So, what have you discovered? To tell the truth, we were lucky to obtain any information at all, considering the lengths to which the Imperials went in covering their tracks. You see, the hangar below was not just used to store the weapons, but played a critical role in their creation. We now know the code names given to 3 of the weapons: Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. It's Gen 3! Obviously, we are all familiar with the first 2, but the third is something of an unknown quantity. At the very least, this confirms the existence of another of those abominations. At the very least? What are we waiting for? Let's go after it! At the very least? The problem lies in ascertaining its whereabouts. None of the locals have seen anything resembling a weapon being transported, either by land or air. Which of course leaves only one option, the sea. According to what fragmented data we were able to recover, the Emerald weapon is equipped with aquatic capabilities, much like the Sapphire. Meaning that its escape from Turncliffe would have gone undetected, and could potentially be anywhere by now. But if Alphonse plans to have it absorb more primals, the logical choice would be Eorzea. And travelling by sea would allow him to circumvent the front line at Gimlet entirely. The Alliance must be alerted at once. Hold your chocobos, Severa. It seems that the Emerald weapon was still incomplete when the 7th Legion withdrew from Turncliffe. It's far more likely that it was transported to another facility in order to add the finishing touches. If your supposition is correct, that would narrow our search to but 2 possible locations: Castrum Marinum on the Rotano Sea and Castrum Occydens in eastern Lenosia. Both of which are known to harbour remnants of the 14th Legion, your former subordinates, Gaius. Be that as it may, our objective is unchanged. Voldulan, you and Severa will make your way to Castrum Occydens, while Melchan and I head for Castrum Marinum. Should we locate the Emerald weapon, we will give the signal to dispatch the G-Warrior and eliminate it before it can be activated. Sorry to disappoint you, but we're still repairing the damage it sustained during the encounter with the Sapphire weapon. While elegant machinery has its uses, it's a bugger to find replacement parts in a pinch. We've actually been working to expand its already impressive arsenal, but the G-Warrior itself is in no fit state for combat. While I'm aware this is a far from adequate replacement, I can provide an ironwork submersible to help Melchan and Gaius reach Castrum Marinum. I'll have one sent ahead to Vesper Bay. Submarine! That's almost as good as a giant robot. A submersible, eh? I don't much like the sound of that. Perhaps Severa and I should count ourselves fortunate that our destination can be approached by land. I pray you have a safe journey. Watch yourself out there, Melchan. It is time we departed. Let us make our way to Vesper Bay. Thank you for the quick travel. In the event that my attempt to bypass the Castrum security fails, this submersible of Sid's had best be able to withstand Imperial weaponry long enough for us to escape. As per Master Garland's instructions, the submersible is ready when you are. But before you depart, I've received some scraps of intelligence regarding your opponent from my colleagues in Turncliffe. Apparently, it uses some sort of levitating, hand-like appendages. 6 of them, in fact, though we're not quite sure what purpose they serve. It sounds like having eyes in the back of your head might come in handy, but that's all we know, I'm afraid. You have our thanks. After all, forewarned is forearmed. If... forearmed. If the Emerald weapon has indeed been transported to the Castrum, it would need to enter via the dry dock. We shall do so likewise. As one might expect, there are measures in place to keep out intruders, but the security systems can be tricked into recognizing us as an Imperial vessel. That said, Infiltrating the facility is merely the first step. Should the Emerald Weapon be activated, it is only a matter of time before the pilot uses Oversoul. We must silence the War Machina before this happens, and failing that, grant the poor soul at its helm the mercy of a swift death. Had these wounds healed more quickly, I could have gone with you, but I fear I would only slow you down. As such, I shall provide what support I can from afar. Whatever happens, the Emerald Weapon must be defeated at all costs. Castrum Marinum. Though I would prefer that we avoid engaging my former wards in combat, we cannot allow my sentiments to prevent us from doing what must be done. I'm sorry we weren't able to provide any further details on the target. We can only guess what other tricks it might have in store for you. Be careful out there. Castrum Marinum. The liberation of Turncliffe has led to the discovery of vital information regarding the weapon project. A war machina codenamed Emerald is believed to have escaped by sea to an Imperial installation. So you and Gaius make your way to Castrum Marinum, one of two likely locations. Retrieved data suggests that your foe is armed with floating manipulators, though how exactly these will be employed in battle remains to be seen. Ooh. Submarine to reach Emerald. Get the materia to remove the time limit. Oh god, there was a time limit. Alright, I'm gonna queue up to see if... No, Waffle's not online. Alright, then I shall queue up. Shall just check Party Finder. Oh, that's right, it tells you here if there's a group for it in Party Finder. Oh. Alright, let's see what the queue time is like for this one. It was pretty quick for the previous one. You know, I haven't checked in here in the Waking Sands since we finished Thingamabob. Shadowbringers 5.3. Let's see if there's anyone hanging out here and if they say anything interesting. Oh, I should look at strats as well. Alright, let's look at strats quickly. Bim, bim, bim. Alright, Tank Buster. There's a rotating cone AoE. That sounds scary. Bombs. 2 bombs have plus minus. Third is stationary. Normal rules of magnetism apply. Okay, yep. So the bombs are going to move. Okay. Line AoEs on players. Line AoEs will knock back. Rude. Okay. Sounds like fun. Anyone in the solar? Nope. It's weird coming back here. A time limit unless you equip the materia for the fight. Oof. Jeez. That sounds rough. Very rude. This is referring to Realm Reborn stuff. Stormblood stuff. No weird uncle. Okay, nothing new going on here. Let's go unlock that extreme fight. Robot. I still love this broom. Can't stop using it. It's fun. Of late, all I can think about is weapons, weapons, weapons! I channel this passion into crafting homages of my favourite war machina, which is more than a mere hobby. It is the wind in my sails. The ruby weapon. The ruby weapon? A fine choice. Please, allow me a moment to prepare. Wow. Feast your eyes on the likeness of the Crimson Conqueror, the Vermilion Villain, the Scarlet Scoundrel, the one and only Ruby Weapon. Horrifying. As I'm sure you remember, its most prominent characteristics were its impregnable armor plating, adroitly depicted here, and its long, flexible claws, which are... well, you just have to imagine those for now. The head and arched neck are somewhat reminiscent of a ravenous void scent, which may be the result of having absorbed a primal, possibly even one summoned by those resisting the Empire. In that sense, it could even be considered an ally of sorts. Ah, there I go, getting carried away as usual. I can tell you've absorbed about as much information as you can handle for now, so why don't we fire up the Real Virtuality Combat Simulation Experiencinator? The RVCSE? Don't know if that stands for anything that's a reference. You'd best brace yourself, because even I don't know what's going to happen. Cinder Drift Extreme. An emerald crowd about in the ocean, so you have to take a sub. Ah, that's cool. Your underwater timer before you drown. Okay, that's cool. The tokens earned in the Sorrow of Werlyt can be exchanged for gear and other items. Sure. Alas, I am lacking fresh inspiration, and I fear that without the necessary stimulation, my tools will be left to gather dust. Poor you. See Intana in Revenant's Toll. Alright, let's go see what stuff we can get. To Revenant's Toll! What might be a reference? The acronym for the system, he calls it. The Real Virtuality Combat Simulation Experiencinator. RVCSE. Yeah, I don't know if that's a reference to something, but knowing this game, it might be. Might be. Who are we talking to? Sintana? Ah, that's what you have. You have this stuff. Oh, Bosnia stuff as well. Bombastic bric-a-brac. What the frick is that? Oh, these are the mounts. Ruby broadsword. Oh. Ruby battle axe. That looks creepy. Great sword. Ugh, it's got like a... Ugh. That looks very creepy. Oh god. That like unfurls in a kind of very organic and creepy way. What's it look like? Wow, yeah, it's all folded up here. That's cool. Sawback. Gunblade. No animation. Ooh, that glows nicely. Isn't ringing any bells for you at the moment. That's fine. It could even be some mega obscure thing if it is a reference. Oh, wow, the sheath for the samurai sword has little claws on it. Creepy. Daggers. Man, only one of them has had a cool animation so far. I was hoping more of them would. Gun! Pew! Chakrams. Ruby rod. I thought that one might unfold or something. That one's like a little model of it on a star. That's kind of cool. Yeah, probably an obscure reference. They can get some pretty deep cuts in this game. Whoa. That book has claws. I won't trust this book. Red Mage. Healer. Healer stuff. What's the scholar book look like? Any different? I think it's just a different, slightly different shade of colour from the summoner one. Astrology. It's got a little vase, little grinning teeth. Creepy. Oh, and the paladin shield. God, the aesthetic of the ruby weapon is so creepy. I do not like it. Should we look at emerald and diamond, or will there be spoilers? Osya stuff. Ah, yeah, these are from that extreme version of that Varus fight. Shall I have a look at what these look like? They're in a chest. Probably have to look it up on a website. Idealized. No idea when this is gonna pop, so Don't know if we should go start something or not. Got plenty of level 80 quests we can do. We did White Mage and Scholar. So we could round out the healers and do Astrologian. Yeah, screw it. Let's do Astrologian. Gotta fix my glam first. It's very important. Busted Bogan. Yeah, we're definitely on the Aussie servers. Yeah, I'm using the level 80 Astrologian set. I love the astro thingy it comes with. Astrolabe? The globe. Spinny. It's got more of a black and silver motif. Whereas the 70 set was more black and gold. Quite nice. Like it. Diamond Weapon was the one you had to fight for the story. Okay, so Diamond wasn't a super boss. The other two were. Okay, that makes sense. This conspiracy theorist is always here with some goofy fake conspiracy. Earlier today, their message was something about how pigeons were, well, seagulls are actually like cameras to monitor us. Alright, let's do the level 80 Astrologian quest. I really like the Astrologian crew. Equinard and Leviva. And then there was that other guy we met last time in the Stormblood quests. The Geomancer, I think it was. We helped him out in the Stormblood quests. Oh. Don't know if I've seen that text. Have you heard the news? Of course you have, but I'll tell you anyway. They have made me an assistant professor at the Scholasticate. I'll be teaching Lady Leviva's courses to all the young, handsome students. Oh, and the old, ugly ones as well. Of course. Why wouldn't I? I don't know if I trust you as a teacher. Gonna be real. Hey, you're still dreaming about Kyokuho? Equinard. Love. Astrologically. Oh. Something. Mayhap the stars. Tells you that Equinard would like a word or two. 100. Mel-chan, you always seem to know the precise moment at which your services are required. Such is the mark of an accomplished astrologian, if I do say so myself. Which would, of course, imply you are already aware of what I would ask of you. Yet, I shall indulge you with my request nonetheless. It is Master Rufin. Following our return from Kugane, she has been distant. Well, more distant than usual. Enough to give one pause, at least. Yeah, Rufin is the name that Leviva's taken up to try and hide from Charlayan. It's actually her father's name. I thought I might ascertain the source of her worriment with the deck of 60, but was presented with the usual slumgullion of vague portents and portentous vagaries. By the time I unwrapped my throbbing head from the spread, all I could discern was something about a dark wind blowing from the east. I suppose this could imply any number of things. Ill tidings from our allies in Doma, a rainstorm brewing over the Black Shroud, a fire at that fine patisserie near the Ark of the Venerable. Why, I suppose even you could be the Dark Wind. Ahem. No. Right. Let us simply say, I am worried about our companion, but am at a loss as to how I might help her. Leveva has been spending much of her days up at the last vigil, staring blankly out over the sea of clouds. I've attempted speaking with her, but the lady is about as receptive to my concerns as one might expect. Perhaps, though, she would prove more forthcoming with her star pupil. Sure. The last vigil was once a lookout for the sea's Knights Dragoon, though by the time anyone manning the outpost spotted a dragon, it was far too late to do aught but crawl into a root cellar and pray. Ah, so that's why it's called the last vigil. Astrologian animations are so good. Look at this. Got planets orbiting me. Or moons? I don't know. I can do this. It's so cool. Hello. It would never work, and I was a fool to think. Oh, Bo-chan. Just the woman I wanted to see. Might you remember our good Might you remember Kyokuho? Lanky fellow, dishevelled hair, somewhat capable in the geomantic arts? Well, it appears his travels will be bringing him once again to Ishgard. Seeing as he has provided me with a wealth of valuable insight into his discipline, the least I could do would be to greet him upon his arrival. Unfortunately, I must see to some unfinished affairs near the architects. Would it be too much to ask for you to visit the Aetheryte Plaza in my stead? I shall catch up with both of you later at the Athenaeum Astrologicum. Sure. The plaza. This Lullafell is having fun. Kyokuho! Mel-chan, imagine us meeting here. Could it be fate? Haha, I jest. Slow down, friend. I've only just arrived in Ishgard, and already you're recruiting me to some urgent cause? You Westlanders certainly don't waste your time. I intended this to be but a short visit, to discuss how matters have progressed since you vanquished Kinko and aided me in restoring my grandfather's wards. However, I suppose all that can wait. To the Athenaeum, then? They fell off, but they're back at it again. Why, if it isn't a dark wind from the east? It is good to see you again too, Janequinard. Mel-chan tells me all is not well with Lady Leveva. Ah, so I see someone has wasted little time in informing every rat in the broom of matters that I thought it obvious were of a more personal nature. Oh, save the drama for the stage, my friend. No-Chen merely recognised that the intimate connection Lady Leveva and I forged in Kugane made me the perfect candidate for discerning what might be weighing, oh, so heavily on her soul. Ha! And how do you propose to do that? Do it? I've already done it. Lady Leveva's in love. But of course she is. Wait, what? Her arch-enemy defeated, her father's memory honoured, and a city saved. Lady Leveva has conquered the countless peaks that rose before her with an air of aplomb that would belie her mere 16 summers. And now, bereft of purpose, she has turned her eyes to companionship, to fill the void that lies agape in her heart. And I believe I can help. No-Chan, might you know the lonely lady's current whereabouts? Those massive stone effigies to raw masculinity? Oh, it is worse than I thought. We must make haste. Don't tell me you take that addle-pated moon boy seriously. Lady Leveva? In love? What a ridiculous notion. Unless... if she is smitten with some unknown individual, and I am by no means implying that she is, it is my duty as friend of her father to determine if the cur is worthy of Lady Leveva's attention. I'm just going to run. I think if I finish this quest and the queue hasn't popped, I might need to finish it up another day. I do need to have dinner soon so I can be ready for our Alexander trip tonight with my friends. Oh, there's Leveva. Yeah, these are the statues he was talking about. The statues of the original Knights 12. Mel-chan, might I assume you saw Kyokuho safely to the Athenaeum? Very well. I shall be along shortly. You're very subtle. Look, there she is. Indeed, there she is. And? Then why are we here? Yeah, then why are we here? We should go talk to her. I was afraid you might ask that. What do you think we should do? Talk to her? I'm but a humble student of the geomantic arts. I have little understanding when it comes to matters of the heart. And what, pray tell, are you two doing here? Greetings and salutations, my dearest Leveva. Aren't you looking most resplendent this fine morning? Resplendent? Spent a few bells in the books, have we? Time will tell if this new vocabulary suits you, but time is not a luxury I'm afforded at this moment. The city's din is positively deafening. It stifles my thoughts and upsets my humours. What I require is clarity. Something unattainable within these stone walls. The quiet of Camp Dragonhead, however, may provide me with a moment's respite. Oh, and you may cease with this ridiculous talk of matters of the heart. Love is the furthest of my worries. I, for one, am already promised to another. What? Oh. Oh. Ready. Promised? How is that even? Hi. Ah, Kokuho. There's no need to kneel in my presence. Did I miss anything? I see. It comes as little surprise that one of her social standing would be betrothed at such a young age. Such is the custom amongst older houses, even in a city as progressive as Garlean, and she hails from one of the oldest. Progressive? I mean, we haven't been there yet, but they don't sound progressive to me. I suppose it's just that Kokuho, whether the vim and vigour from our conversation earlier, and all this upon learning Lady Leveva is to be married. A more astute observant, and might presume a certain emotional attachment to our young protege. But that would be ludicrous. I, for one, know that good Kokuho's feelings toward Leveva are naught but those of admiration for her skill at the astromantic arts. So let us return to the task at hand. We still do not know what is weighing down on the lady's fragile heart. And what better way to find out than to ask? A novel idea, don't you think? Asking someone what is troubling them rather than assuming, without having actually spoken with them or even seen them for some time, that they're simply longing for amorous relations. When Genequinard makes sense, you know things are going bad. Wonderful. Kokuho and I shall return to the Athenaeum, where I will make certain he refrains from idle middlement in any other lives. Camp Dragonhead. We'll just see if we can talk to them at the Astrologian first. Sarcasm is strong with this one, yep. Genequinard is pretty funny. I like him. I fear I have offended the Lady Leveva. Will she ever forgive me? I could accompany you to Camp Dragonhead, but one thing my time with Lady Leveva has taught me is that when she has her head wrapped about some vexatious affair, the last person's company she desires is mine. He's right there. Kokuho's right there. No? Okay. How old is he? I don't remember. Oh, hopefully about her age. Oh, she's up here, of course. As persistent as always. Fine. You have seen through my ruse. I am not, in fact, promised to another. I simply implied as much to silence Kokuho. Alright, there was a time I was promised to another. We have my grandfather to thank for that. However, since I am now officially deceased, my assumption is that the arrangement will have been annulled. Not that I shall ever bother to actually confirm this assumption. What is troubling me? It was not my intention to involve you or Genequinard, or even Kokuho in such matters. However, the discord my silence has sown perhaps warrants an explanation. Despite repeated efforts following our recent achievements in Kugane, I have been unable to conceive feasible means of blending the teachings of Garlean astrology and those of Far Eastern geomancy. As Kyokuho explained, unlike astrologers who look to the stars above to read their fates, geomancers look to the star below and listen to its songs, and draw their answers from its whispers. Yet try as I might, I remain impotent in tapping the land's puissance. I've spent my life attuning to the slight variations in the aether of distant stars, so much so that when I look to Heidelin and her aether, I am overwhelmed by its potency, its glow, you could say. Think of it as trying to open one of the heaven's gates in a world of everlasting daylight. A world of everlasting daylight? About that. ... Everlasting daylight. That sounds familiar. You have visited such a place? Then my readings were accurate. Exactly where have your adventures taken you, Mel-chan? These robes I'm wearing look extremely cold for Camp Dragonhead. I'll be fine. And you had no trouble channeling the ether from that world's heavens, despite the fact that you never once physically laid eyes upon them? Intriguing. But I'm a woman of reason, and shall require more than the word of another, no matter how close, to convince me of this phenomenon. A first-hand demonstration, however, might suffice. A single aspected benefic, perhaps? Sure? When you are ready, Mel-chan, a single incantation of aspected benefic will suffice. Your faculty for ethereally conversing with celestial bodies both far and near is peerless. A most eloquent display, and one I should endeavour to learn from. I have committed the most grievous of sins by allowing things such as light, distance and dimension, things that hold no dominion over the realm ethereal, to prevent me from unbinding my full potential. You, however, helped me to realise the error in my ways. I believe now I might continue my studies. Just not here. I'm unsure why I thought this would be a suitable location to ponder my predicament in the first place. Perhaps it was the memories of our first lesson here. Ahem. Let us hurry back to the Athenaeum, lest we catch cold. One expansion, several boxes of tissues, and several patches later. Yeah, that's a long story to tell. Janequinard was right. I was the dark wind from the east. If I hadn't arrived and upset Lady Leveva with my ridiculous notions, we wouldn't find ourselves in this mess. So, my original reading was accurate all along. You were the dark wind. But then why dark? I thought people were calling you the Warrior of Light. Maybe he was talking about me. Foremost, I believe I owe you both an apology. Or at least I owe you one, Janequinard. As for you, Kyokuho? How did you arrive at the ridiculous notion that I was somehow languishing in the throes of love. When Melchan and Janequinard mentioned you were not yourself after returning from Kugane, I simply assumed that... Do you dare suggest that we had any hand in this, Kokuho? You were not a quarter bell in the pillars before you were telling anyone who would listen about the cavernous maw that yawned in the heart of poor, lonely Master Rufin, and how you were to fill it. Lonely? Huh. I'm far from lonely. In fact, I've already promised my heart to another. Of course, already promised to a... Wait, what? You heard me, and I've never spoken a truer word. Whoever could it be? It is certainly not Melchan, or, heavens forfend, Kokuho. Why, astrology, of course. Heh. What? Who did you expect? Quimperane? Quimperane was Janequinard's servant. The guard who accompanied us through most of these quests. Who tanked for us. I suppose you're wondering what brought me to Ishgard in the first place. It most certainly wasn't to ruffle Master Rufin's feathers, though it seems I have succeeded in that nonetheless. Our triumph over Kinko having restored the people of Kugane's faith in geomancy, it was not long before a gaggle of eager mages were clamouring at my door, seeking guidance in the art of wind and water. To accommodate, I transformed my grandfather's study into a place where I might train those who are willing to invest the time and effort necessary to become masters. Which reminds me, my students are likely wondering where their sensei is. Farewell, Melchan. Okay. You're leaving already? So he came to tell us of his new school of geomancy? Did we not give him a link pearl? At any rate, allow me to thank you once again for the inspiration you provided. Despite being your mentor in matters astrological, I find myself consistently in your debt when it comes to, well, everything else. You are a true friend and confidant, Melchan. As always, she has once again failed to acknowledge that it was I who first noticed her change in mood, and that it was my reading that predicted your arrival, and that it was my good judgment that eventually pointed you in her direction. But such is my destiny, I suppose. I am simply happy that Lady Leveva is back to her normal self. If aught were to befall her, Rufin would haunt me till the 8th Umbral era. Thank you again, Melchan. I would say we make a fine team, but considering you cover the Curl's share of the footwork, I will refrain from any further analogies of a sporting nature. Thank you. The stars in our faults. Distant stargazer. Ah, Melchan. I can only apologise once more for the role I played in the recent farce to which you were forced to be party. Rest assured that there will be no more of that. As for Lady Leveva, she seems satisfied with the pace of her progress at the moment. She was practically skipping with joy last we spoke, in fact. Oh, that's good. I may have been hasty in my judgment of geomancy as well, but I stand by my assessment of Kyokuho as a flake, despite what Fleuret thinks. Recent happenings. For long it seemed Master Rufin was possessed of ill humours, but fortunately for us, the spell has passed without consequence. As long as we experience no further interruptions from the east, the lady should continue to make progress on her efforts to fold geomantic teachings into Western astrology. Any new dialogue here? Don't think any of this is new. Okay. Well, I think we're done with Astrologian. There you go. We could talk with not Rufin, Kyokuho, couldn't we? Over in Kugane? I'll go do that. So you go, John Equinard. Well, actually, can we see Lady Leveva anyway? Just go see if she's stargazing up here again. I like the overall, the Astrologian quest overall. I like the characters. It's just very wittily written. Just very funny. You see interactions with Leveva and Genequinard. Also really like how Genequinard is depicted. Like he likes sex, but unless I missed any dialogue, it seems like he's not, manipulatory about it. No, he just has casual sex. No Leveva here. Yeah, it's a stark contrast with remember Thancred in Realm Reborn, when we discovered he had been lying to a bunch of women, but we didn't get any hints of that happening with Genequinard. He just, he's honest. Yeah, it's a healthier depiction of casual sex, because casual sex is really badly depicted in a lot of media. I think it's depicted as this bad thing, but it's people have it all the time. It's fine as long as everyone's honest. I think it was around here, wasn't he? Yeah. Anyway, that's why I like Genequinard. It's seems to be just a more real depiction. Ah, here he is. Kyokuho. Mel-chan, you're still in Kugane? I thought you would have sailed back to Eorzea by now. Is there something that keeps you in our fair city, or do you simply enjoy its pleasures too much to leave? As for me, I'll require a little more time to... What did Lady Leveva say? Sit the straight ship? Ah, how I despise your cryptic expressions. Just tell her, if you see her, that I haven't forgot our promise. That's right, I forgot about the evil geomancers, the drooks. Alright, well, I think we'll wrap up for today. Maybe I'll try and get this queue to pop off stream and record the fight, and then we can continue the story next time I stream. Maybe I'll try it in Party Finder next time. Anyway, yeah, I need to go have dinner and get ready for some Alexander fun with my friends. I'll just see who I might want to raid. Ooh, I could send you to Deer. Deer's not usually streaming when I finish. Yeah, thank you for watching. Deer is playing Dead by Daylight. Deer has a very chill stream. I like their stream. Okay, thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully I can get this queue to pop at some point and I can record the fight for you, and then we can do more story together. There's also the Valentine's event to do as well. And then I'll finish up whatever other level 80 class quests we've got, which is a lot of them actually. And then it's back to the MSQ. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. See ya.